Hi, my name is Keith Littleton. I'm the Automotive Program Manager here at Jones Technical Institute in Jacksonville, Florida. What we're going to do today is we're going to go over the fault box. The fault box is a training aid that we purchased, and we got about 10 of them. And I just wanted to go over the operation of it today, what comes with it, and how to install it on a vehicle. So let's get started. When you unpack your fault box, it comes with an installation and operations manual, the harness that gets attached to the vehicle, and of course the fault box. I've taken the lid off the fault box here for the video, so your fault box actually looks like this one that actually has a lid on it so you can close it up. And we'll go over a couple reasons why we want to do that in a little bit. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in on the fault box, and I'm going to go over actually every one of the switches and the operation of those switches and kind of give you some ideas of how I'm using them here in the training here at Jones Technical Institute. Okay, now that we've zoomed in, just to go over the panel and the operation of each one of the switches, at the upper left-hand corner here, you'll see 3 switches starting with C1 ending with C3. These are communication faults. In the A position, which is green, it's in its normal condition. If you turn it to B, that goes to an open position, and then C is a fixed resistance. Okay? And then below that is a P1, which is a parasitic drain. In the middle position, B on this one, is normal. And if you move it to A, it adds a 40 milliamp draw up and above whatever the vehicle normally has. And if you go to C, it does an 80 milliamp draw. Now if you come over to the middle section, these are A faults. And we named them that because they are high amperage faults, higher than normal. And in your instruction manual, it'll tell you exactly what the amperage, what you don't want to go above. So position A is normal, which is the green position. B is an open circuit, and C is a fixed resistance. Okay? Down here on the very bottom of the panel, this is a breakout panel. You can use it for testing the circuits that you've put in the vehicle. You can do it for demonstration for students, put an oscilloscope there. For example, if you have a communication fault here, you want to see normal communication, you put your oscilloscope or digital multimeter, whatever you decide to use, and you can actually look at that signal. And you can go from a faulted position to a normal position at the same time. So it's nice for diagnostics and for demonstration purposes, and to make sure you did put the fault in correctly. Now moving over to the last section, this is the sensor section. There's S1 through S4. The A position, of course, is green, which is the normal position. B, again, is the open circuit. And then C moves it down into your little control panel here. So if you select S1, C, you can actually take this potentiometer and vary the resistance on that particular circuit. So you can kind of change it up on the fly. You don't have to stick with just a one fixed resistance. So in a nutshell, that's basically what those controls are. Now, this switch right here in the middle is an intermittent switch. Now this is for the sensors only. What you can do is you can select S1, circuit 1, and then you can take it to a faulted position, and it will actually turn the circuit on and off, or open and close circuit at different intervals of time. And just make sure to look in your instruction manual, and that'll tell you exactly what those the amounts are. So you can do intermittent faults, you can do fixed resistance, you can do open circuits, you can do parasitic drains. And I'm going to go over in later videos on all the different types of circuits that I fault on the vehicles, because you can really do some neat stuff with the fault box, and I think you'll be extremely happy with it. But in a nutshell, that's basically how the fault box panel operates. And next we're going to go over to the vehicle, and I'm going to kind of show you a basic installation of one of the faults. Okay, now that you understand the basic operation of the fault box, the way the panel is laid out, and kind of what it comes with, what I want to go over with is on this particular vehicle here, I already have the harness installed on the vehicle, and I just kind of want to talk to you about some of the things you need to know about that may not be very clear in the instruction manual. The harness is actually hardwired in the vehicle. Okay, so what that means is you actually find a particular circuit that you want to fault, based on your fault box layout. And once you do that, you actually solder in, hardwire the harness in the vehicle. Okay, now there's many different creative ways, and I'm going to get into those in later videos, about how to really get a lot of mileage or a lot of bang for your buck out of the fault box, choosing the right faults. Because basically what you can do is you can purchase multiple harnesses and put 2 or 3 harnesses in the vehicle. So you can have transmission faults, you can have climate control faults, you can have body control faults. So you can really get a lot of mileage, and you're not damaging the harness every single time you put faults when you're doing hands-on assessment for the students. So this particular harness is already installed. I've actually brought it up through the window so you can see the other end of it. And this is where the actual harness would connect to the box. So right now I could start and run the car just fine because the harness is looped. So when I'm not using the fault box on a particular vehicle, I just loop it up, stick it back in the vehicle. Okay? But when I do want to hook up the fault box, I just take these connectors, hook them up, and then I can control the vehicle, do hands-on assessments, demonstration, and these types of things. So that's basically what I want to talk about with the harness. I'm going to move over and I'm just going to show you real quick on this particular vehicle. I've pulled the harness out and showed you how I hardwired actually inside the harness. It's real simple to do. The average installation of a fault box is around 3 to 4 hours. I would give yourself 4 hours the first time you do it, but then you get better at it. So let's go ahead and take a look at that harness. Okay, on this 2008 Toyota Camry, the PCM is located right here by the air cleaner housing. Well, I've taken the harness out, pulled the connectors back so I can show you, and I'm going to zoom in here in a minute and show you where I tapped into. So the 4 sensor faults on the particular vehicle, on this fault box for this particular vehicle, I chose to come in right at the harness, up by the ECM. It was just easy access. It would be easy to if I wanted to remove the harness later. It was just an easy access point. And that's a key thing when you're installing one of these boxes, to find a spot that you can get the most mileage out of it so you don't have the harness running all over the vehicle. Okay, so we're going to zoom in and I'm going to show you the particular circuit that I faulted on this. Okay, I've zoomed in so you can see the harness. This is the PCM connector, okay? And I've tapped into a particular circuit here. It's actually the signal circuit for the one of the coils on the coilovers. And these green wires here are going to the fault box, which goes back over inside the vehicle. So the yellow circuit here, I tap in, I soldered it, put heat shrink on it, comes out to the fault box, and it comes back into the vehicle harness right there. So real simple. I've tapped into other circuits too, but I was just going to go over that one here real quick. And but later on, we're going to have very, very detailed videos on how to decide which fault you want to put in the vehicle, and really take it from step 1 all the way down to finishing it. So, but I'm going to go ahead and hook this all back up. We're going to put a fault in the vehicle to let you see that, and we'll be done here in just a minute. Okay, after you saw the fault insertion where I actually tapped into the harness, we went ahead and put it back together. So I just wanted you to take a look at that, how it looks like after we've tapped in the harness. You can't even tell we're even there. So let's go ahead and show you how the fault box works. Okay, now that I've shown you how you basically install a fault in the vehicle, you decide what circuit you're going to do, you're going to tap into it, and kind of go from there. Well, now that we've done that, I've hooked the fault box up to the harness. What we're going to do is I'm going to zoom in, start the vehicle, have it running normal, flick the switch, let you see the misfire, and then fix it right back again, just so you can see how the fault box works. So let's do that. Okay, as you can tell, the vehicle's running. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to zoom in, let you take a look at the engine. I'm going to come over and flick the switch. break the vehicle and then fix it real quick. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, now that I've zoomed in on the vehicle so you can see the engine, I'm going to flip the switch. And hopefully you can see the engine on the video, how it's misfiring. You probably heard the RPM change. So that's basically a flick of a switch. You can be able to fault the vehicle for students to do some type of diagnostics or hands-on assessment. Okay, well, we've shown you the operation of the box, an actual fault insertion, and the box actually in operation. Now when you're done, and you want to move the fault box to another vehicle, or you just want to take it off, it's as simple as taking this, looping the harness back just like I showed you before, and you roll this up, put it wherever you want. You can put it in the trunk in the vehicle, you know, depending on how long you get the actual harness when you order it, and you can hide it. You can do whatever you want with the harness. Some guys like putting it in the kick panels. You know, I've seen some instructors actually put it in different locations where they actually unplug the bulk of the harness and take it away with them, and then plug the harness back in so all the wiring is not still left in the vehicle tied up somewhere. So basically that's it. We're going to do more videos on very detailed items with the fault box, but this video was just to show you basically how the operation of the box is, what to use the box for, and kind of the layout and these types of things. So thanks for watching, and we'll have more videos to come. Thank you.